You are about to start your pre-op diet for weight loss surgery, and you still got your big girl stomach, and you're trying to figure out, how am I gonna make it through this? The pre-op diet for weight loss surgery looks different for us all and can be different lengths, but at the end of the day, it's still hard. As someone who was post 2 years gastric sleeve, let me give you some tips and tricks that helped me get through it so I made it to surgery day. But first, if you're new here, hey girl, hey, my name is Janae and I make a lot of content focused on fitness, wellness, and self-development and helping you live your best healthy and active life. So if that sounds like something you're into, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Like this video if you're getting your weight loss surgery soon, and comment down below and let me know, what does your pre-op diet look like? Because I know it looks different. So how long is it and what does it look like? I had my gastric sleeve on March 2nd of 2023. And for me, I had to do a 2-week full liquid diet. And I have done several videos talking about what was approved for my liquids and what my liquid diet, what I drink in a day look like. I'll link them in the cards above for y'all. But let me tell you, getting through it was so hard. Now, just to sum it up, my liquid diet, I had to, and let me see if I'm remembering this correctly, there was no calories per se. I had to hit a minimum of 60 grams of protein. For men, it was 70. I couldn't go over 20 grams of carbs. I couldn't go over 5 grams of sugar, and I couldn't go over 5 grams of fat. I also couldn't blend anything. It had to already be liquid. I couldn't do any soups that had chunks in it. It had to be strained, but then I also had to think about the fat intake. I was able to do like the sugar-free juices and Gatorades and fat-free stuff. Like I was doing the sugar-free Jell-O and the sugar-free pudding. I was able to do plain and fat-free Greek yogurt. Like they consider those a liquid. But other than that, it was just straight liquids for me. And mind you, I also worked in the ER at the time, so I had a very demanding job and I'm only on liquids. Yeah. So here are some things that helped me get through my pre-op diet because I still had my very big girl stomach. For those 2 weeks, I did not work out at all. I only went to work, and that was it. I did not want to do anything that was going to rev up my appetite, whether it was weight training, strength training, yoga, anything. I didn't want to do nothing extra. I just wanted to really think about and prepare for surgery. And I did not know how my body was going to do because I've tried liquid diets and fast before and I never made it through any of it because I was also working out at the same time. So knowing that, I actively decided not to work out. And that may be hard for some people to hear, especially if you are already in a fitness routine before weight loss surgery, or you're so focused on losing as much weight as possible that you want to work out. But I'm telling you, the priority here is making it through because these pre-op diets is to shrink your liver so that you can have a safe surgery. And of course, you are going to lose weight in the process, but you don't need to be stressing your body for however many amount of time to be trying to get as small as possible. You're getting surgery, babes. It's not that serious. And I know I told y'all I had to do it for 2 weeks, but this was according to my BMI. Some people in my clinic had a higher BMI, and so they had to do their liquid diet for 4 weeks. And for our clinic, the liquid diet was the standard, but some things, depending on the surgeon, depending on the patient, would change that up. Like if you was a diabetic, they would allow you to have one meal or just have like a piece of fruit or something like that with your liquids. But that was just the standard for my clinic. Another thing that I did, because I'm on TikTok live all the time, and if you're not following me on TikTok and Instagram, go ahead and follow me. I'm answering these questions in the moment and I make a lot of different content over there. But on TikTok live, a lot of y'all are asking me how I made it through. I kept my belly full. I kept my belly full, you guys. Like I constantly drank water, bone broth, my protein shakes. I made a meal out of my Jell-O and Greek yogurt. I kept my belly full all day, which sometimes was hard for me because I worked overnight in the ER. So I'm having to keep my belly full while I'm at work, and then I'm sleeping for 6 to 8 hours during the day, and then I will wake up famished, famished, okay? Famished. So here is another tip. Whether you're a daytime sleeper or a nighttime sleeper, whatever the case may be, while you're sleeping, while you're taking a nap, keep water, your Gatorade, and your protein shake near you. Keep it near you at all times, but especially when you're sleeping. Because what I found was when I was overweight, a negative side effect I had from obesity was constantly getting up to pee, or I had sleep apnea, so I'm tossing and turning and not getting the best sleep. So that meant I was waking up several times at night. When I would wake up, I was sipping. I didn't care if I had to pee because I was getting up to pee anyway. So I would sip. That way, we're naturally intermittent fasting or fasting period when we're sleeping. We have 6 to 8 hours, if you are getting good sleep, of just your stomach emptying out. Guess what? Like I said, you're going to be famished when you do wake up. So what I did was put something back in my belly every single time I woke up. Now, the times that I didn't do these things and I woke up from a shift, so I'm waking up at 4 p.m. or something like that, and I actually slept, so now I'm famished, there were 2 times that I cheated on my pre-op diet. So let's talk about cheating on your pre-op diet. Now, I cheated only 2 times pre-op, and it was with one meal was boneless, skinless chicken thighs and some broccoli, and the second one was very lean ground beef and broccoli. It was in my toddler's size bowl. It was literally like enough to get like 3 or 4 bites in just to fill up my stomach. I think this was 4 days pre-op and 6 days pre-op, but my clinic made it very clear to me. They used like scared straight tactics. They were like, if you don't do your pre-op diet, if we cut you open and your liver's too big, we'll cancel you right there on the spot and sew you back up. Or instead of doing it laparoscopically, we'll have to give you this big ugly scar and cut you from here down. Or, we could nick it and something happens and a complication. And that scared me enough. Like, I did not want something bad to happen from my doing. And so the closer I got to surgery, the more I was like, no, I have to fight through it. I have to keep my stomach full. I can't cheat no more because I was so scared. And I've talked about this and a lot of people were like, well, I cheated and nothing happened to me, or I didn't even have a pre-op diet and nothing happened to me. And that's fine for you. But my thing was, if my clinic gave me these rules and guidelines, and I broke these rules and guidelines, and something happened, and it probably wasn't even because of that, but if something happened, I would have felt guilty for the rest of my life, and I would have felt like I did it to myself because I didn't follow the rules and guidelines. And that guilt was enough for me. I didn't want to have that over my head because I didn't listen. So you can risk it all you want, but don't come crying to me if something happens and now you feel guilty because I done already warned you. But something else I want you to think about is, because some people don't have a pre-op diet and some people are allowed to eat like whatever, our pre-op diets look differently. Well, remember about the person who is cutting you open. What is their experience looking like? How many have they done? How young are they in their career? Like, think about it. What's the research? What's the schooling that they had? Not all bariatric clinics are made the same. They're giving you these rules and guidelines based off of their education and their experience. And so even within my clinic, some of the bariatric surgeons had different rules, and that was based off of their experiences. But follow your person's guidelines is all I'm gonna say. Another thing that I did to get me through and to get me to surgery day was honestly think about my life on the other side. I knew that life was just going to be different, and not easier, but just different. And that's what I wanted to make it through. I did not want to have my surgery canceled. I wanted to finally get the surgery and have a method that was going to work for me. And so I started to just think about that. Think about life beyond weight loss surgery. And that little bit of spark of hope is what made me get through it day in and day out. Another thing I did was have my family get on board. Now, it's just my husband and our 2 children. I didn't have any friends or family surrounding us because we are a military family. I had my surgery done in Texas, so it was just us. And so during that time period, I just was like, look, I can't have things that are tempting me. Like, if y'all gonna do this, do it outside the home and don't bring me with y'all. But like, I can't have this temptation. Have the support of your family to get you through this. I'm not saying to have them get on the diet with you, but if there are things that may, make it harder, like cooking dinner too much was making it harder, was making it way harder. So my husband decided to cook more dinners while, I'm like cooling it out, especially on the days that I was struggling. Or if they was having fast food, then my husband took the kids out and, they did their thing and I just chilled in the house with my little protein shake or, stuff like that. Like, that's the things that we did to help support me and get me through it. And the last thing I did when all else failed, I honestly took a nap. I was like, look, I just need to sleep and make it to the next day. Every day, I'm like, let me just make it to the next day. So I made my bedtime a little longer. I honestly took a sleeping pill or a melatonin here or there to make my sleep a little bit longer. Or I took an extra nap so that the time can go by faster. I just did whatever I had to do. I stayed distracted so that I wouldn't think about food, but not in a distractive way to where I'm revving up my appetite. Remember, I already talked about not working out. So I didn't do things like that. But I stayed distracted so that I wasn't consumed by food and the thoughts of food and the food noise is just, you know what I mean? Those were all of the things that helped me make it to surgery day. And here I am almost 2 years post-op and 125 pounds down from my highest weight. So comment down below and let me know if you're already post-op, what are some things that you did to help you get to surgery day, no matter what your pre-op surgery diet look like. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you give it a big thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already, and hit that bell icon. That way you're notified every single time I post a new video. Make sure you follow me on TikTok and Instagram. On TikTok, I'm always hosting lives and answering your questions in the moment. And on Instagram, I'm super active in my stories. I have a broadcast channel where they get the tea in the moment and we chat and do polls and all that stuff over there. So make sure you follow me. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.